involved? Like, kind of like, what do you do? Yeah.
Exactly. And so we are, what we're doing now is we're hosting a series of what we call civic academies. And it's not just us. So like I said, we're an institution of CUPS Metro. CUPS Metro also organizes churches. And so a lot of the churches across San Antonio that, you know, feel very passionate about civic engagement and building power in our communities are also hosting these civic academies and are a part of the work that's happening through CUPS Metro. And so we kind of come together. And so SA Rise is hosting some of our own civic academies in partnership with CUPS Metro and in partnership with the other institutions that are part of CUPS Metro. And some of our civic academies, we have one this Saturday actually around social emotional development. We invite the community, we invite teachers, we invite everyone to kind of learn more about specifically in SAISD what is happening with our student code of conduct, what is, you know, in general, kind of just creating awareness of that and in what ways, you know, in what ways the community can be involved with that. And so that's happening. We're going to have one at my school in March, the end of March. And our Civic Academy is going to be about knowing your rights when concerning SPED, 504, dyslexia, GT, special programs, knowing their rights when it comes to that. And also understanding testing, because I believe that a lot of our communities want to support the children. They want to make sure that their children are getting everything that they need, and they care. There is no doubt about it. They care, but they deserve and need a little more awareness around what their kids are going through when it comes to testing. What testing, not just STAR. But we have in our district called MAP testing, which is an online test that we use to gauge, you know, where they're at in their grade level, and it also kind of is a gauge of how well they'll do when they do take the STAR. And then we also have CELPAS, which is a testing for our dual language students, our bilingual students, and Spanish-speaking students, and you know, so it's understanding testing in general for our parents so that they know how they can support their children, what their children are going through, and just, you know, just creating awareness to, you know, give an opportunity for our parents to be more involved in their child's education. Knowing what types of questions to ask when they're meeting with their teachers, and feeling that they have the power to be able to support their child. So that's kind of like what we're doing right now. I know another civic academy that we're doing that's going to be held at another school is around the budget, around school budget and SAISD and just in general. And what that looks like for our schools. And so, just creating awareness and helping to educate our communities.
That's so great. And that's like the first step to empowerment is just having information, you know, asking questions in a safe place and then being able to advocate, you know, for your kids and other spaces.
Exactly. We want to give them the power. It's all about giving them the power. Because, you know, with advocacy, I think it's super important. But what happens when that person that's advocating is no longer there? You know, I think that's why it's so important that we're giving our communities the power to do that for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I think my last question is just kind of like more general, but I'd love to hear, you know, like based on your work with She Is and your students, what kind of encouragement do you think girls need most right now around developing their voice and seeing themselves as leaders in their community?
I think the biggest and most important words of encouragement and not just words, but through our actions, is supporting our girls with showing them that they are literally capable of anything that they set their mind to. And that's why exposing them to other women who have done it before is so important. And, you know, I know for me, and this goes for like women who are running for office, they have to be told 7-10 times before they say, okay, you know what, I can do it. But, you know, and there's so many reasons for that. But if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes. That we have to remind them every single day, you can do it. You know why I know? Because I see how hard you work every single day. I see what you're capable of. And for me, I tell my students all the time as a teacher, I'm like, you don't think I know? I'm your teacher. I see what you produce. I see what you can do. I see the way your mind thinks. I know what you can do. And so for me, it's like, oh, man, it's just, I know that even as someone who's had so much support in my life, I still needed that. And I know our girls need that. It's making sure that they believe in themselves, because they already have it in them. They do. But sometimes we don't always believe in ourselves because we don't see enough examples of that. And they're out there, which is why it's like putting light on that. But we need more in all areas. And so I think, I want, just exposing them to that and reminding them every single day that they, you know, they set their mind to it. They work hard enough, that they absolutely can do it, and that there's, you know, some things that would like to stop them, but nothing that can actually stop them, you know. And so, I think that's the biggest thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I would say. I know, like, for me, like, just imposter syndrome is such a big obstacle. And I never want any of our girls to go through that. And if they do, I want them to know that they can get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally relate to that. So
it's tough. It's so tough.
It is.
But I just like ignore it. I'm like, I've gotten a lot better. But I'm just like, whatever. I'm gonna ignore that little voice in my head that's like very, very light and just like very in the back of my head, but it's still kind of there. And I'm just like, you're not gonna get the best of me, and I'm still gonna shoot for the stars. And you know, but it's crazy the power that our mind has over us. And if we let it, you know, it can make us believe such untrue things. I mean, it's done that for me, and somehow I've still been able to just, you know, work past that. But I promised myself, because I have aspirations of going to Harvard Law School. And, you know, I have aspirations that I sometimes feel like are unrealistic, and then I look at certain women in my life and I am like, no, it's not unrealistic. I know plenty of people who've done it, and I know I can do it too. So, but it does take a lot of working past my own, like, internal barriers that I put up for myself. And I don't want to be the person that tells myself no. Someone's going to tell me no. I mean, so be it, but I'm going to try.
So personal. I was just talking to a girlfriend of mine about this very thing, and and it's ongoing work. It's never, you're never like, okay, I've arrived, I'm done with that.
Exactly. Well, it's funny because you can so easily, like, every time I would tell myself, well, if I just get into UT Austin, then I'll feel better. If I just get that fellowship, then I'll be good. If I just get into Teach for America, then I'll feel good. If I just that, and it's like, no, there's some, like, really internal work that we have to do. And I think that's why the social emotional development part is so important too. I'm like, I totally empathize with that, because I'm like, everyone sees me as this really strong person that the most confidence and just like ready to, you know, shake the world up